I will not beat around the bush. Okay, I agree because it's proven that white people can run the country. And it's proof that black people, in most, besides the example which I given you of Biafra and things, they generally can't do that. They haven't got capacity, and you hear it more and more from black people themselves. If you call it superiority, doesn't mean that you have to right to oppress them in any way.
Janusz Waluś, a name etched in South African history for all the wrong reasons, is back in the news. Recently, he gave an interview. In it, he showed no remorse for the murder of Chris Hani. This has, understandably, stirred up a lot of anger and pain in South Africa. Walus, you see, is no ordinary criminal. He's the man who assassinated Chris Hani in 1993. Hani, a beloved anti-apartheid leader, was a symbol of hope for a better future. His assassination almost pushed South Africa into chaos. Walus's recent comments, his lack of remorse, have only made things worse. He claims he'd do it again, that he's not sorry for what he did. This has opened up old wounds, reminding everyone of the dark days of apartheid. It's a stark reminder that the journey to healing and reconciliation is a long and difficult one. Walus's words are like salt on a wound, a painful reminder of the past that South Africa is still trying to overcome. To understand the gravity of Walus's actions, we need to go back in time. South Africa for decades was ruled by a system called apartheid. It was a system built on racial segregation and discrimination, where black people were treated as second-class citizens. Chris Hani emerged as a powerful voice against this injustice. He fought for equality, for the rights of all South Africans. His assassination, just as South Africa was transitioning to democracy, was a devastating blow. Walus, a Polish immigrant with ties to white supremacist groups, saw Hani as a threat. He believed that a multiracial South Africa was doomed to fail. His actions were driven by hate, by a desire to maintain the old order. The assassination sent shockwaves through the country. People were angry, scared, and uncertain about the future. It was a pivotal moment in South Africa's history, a test of its fragile democracy. Walus was caught and sentenced to life in prison. His accomplice, Clive Derby-Lewis, died in prison in 2016. Walus, however, was granted parole in 2022 and deported to his native Poland in 2024. His release was met with anger and disbelief by many South Africans. They felt that a man who showed no remorse, who was unapologetic about his actions, didn't deserve freedom. His recent interview has only solidified those feelings. His lack of remorse, his insistence that he'd do it again, has reignited the debate about justice and forgiveness in South Africa. Many feel betrayed that the justice system has failed them. They see his release and his unapologetic stance as an insult to the memory of Chris Hani and all those who fought against apartheid. Walus's case is a stark reminder that the legacy of apartheid continues to cast a long shadow over South Africa. It's a reminder of the deep divisions that still exist, the wounds that haven't fully healed. His words have reopened old wounds, forcing South Africans to confront the painful past. It's a reminder that reconciliation is a process, not an event, and that there's still a long way to go. The outrage over his interview is a sign that South Africans are still grappling with the trauma of the past. It's a sign that the fight for a truly just and equitable society continues. Walus may be free, but his actions will forever be etched in the annals of history. He serves as a reminder of the dangers of hate, of the fragility of democracy, and the long road to healing and reconciliation.